Welcome and greetings, potion masters and gadgeteers. Herr Doktor Vrilock here. We're talking about universal talents tonight on Psionics Digerati. So without further ado, let us begin. I think that in my journey from curious, or actually starting from the beginning was being frightened and then wondering what was going on with paranormal activity, onto curiosity and necessity, then curiosity, I should say, up to mastering and then teaching the psionic arts. I have witnessed so many different kinds of students over the past 5 years that I've been teaching this. Prior to, I was simply writing about it. And the good thing about teaching this art form, which is essentially, for those of you who are perhaps new, I want you to understand me, that we're talking about applied will, mental power, and paranormal phenomenon applied to engineering concepts. That's why I'm opening tonight's podcast with greetings, potions masters, or Zen masters and gadgeteers, because many of us are gadget friendly, if not gadget savvy, albeit. But it seems to me that a lot of the questions I get, well, from beginners, they're usually just what is safe to try. Often there's a misunderstanding about how the paranormal, the supernatural, and the magical, and the mystical, and the occult, and the list goes on. Essentially, how does all this stuff work? And what are the rules? I think that's the one thing that beginners run up against, is they assume that there are some kind of rules or taboos because of past religious upbringing, or superstitions and so on. Now, from the upper beginner or the intermediate students, their questions to me tend to be ones which are aimed at gaining more abilities, or making operations work faster, or ensuring that results are successful. And so for the latter, this body of students tonight, I will address this subject matter, which is there's an anxiety to build the fastest, or to manifest the quickest, or the most powerful. And I want to address that this evening with the topic universal talents, or I should say, let me define the topic, that all talents are universal. And this came to me while communing with various entities, and in particular with Ozazio and some others. And that answer to my question, I mean, it's interesting. Some of the communions are so interesting. With Nikola Tesla, that was an interesting one, where I asked, not to go off on a tangent here, but it's relative. to the topic, I had asked, what is electricity? What's the secret of electricity? And I was surprised to receive a thought coming back to me, because I figured Nikola Tesla has been dead for, 70-something years now? It's been a stretch, so I figured, that was, has it been that long, or longer? I forgot. But it's been a stretch, so I figured, when people have passed for a certain length of time, usually the contact is not going to be there, or it fades out, it becomes senseless or whatnot. But it's not always the case. So there we go with rules again, that sometimes the rules are not set in stone. So what was the answer that Nikola Tesla gave me? Well, it's in my book, Psionic Necromancer, and you should really get that book. You can get it on Amazon, or it also comes with my Necromancer Elite Dowsing Kit, a kit that helps you douse and also tells you how you can commune with disembodied minds, departed relatives, the dead authors, without any expensive ceremonial components, without any ritual, really, and just cracking into psionics, projecting what you want to do, and relax and absorb the results. So the answer to my question to Nikola Tesla is in that book. So I recommend you read it, because it will make more sense to you by reading some of the background. But it does tie into tonight's topic, which is all talents are universal. Because I like some of my students, I've wanted to know, how come I could cause a breeze to stir and then exacerbate this breeze into a wind, and literally knock a tree branch out and spill over somebody's barbecue, turn flagpoles in the opposite direction that the wind's blowing. And I was wondering, how come I can do that? But, if I look at this object in front of me, I cannot levitate it off the table with just my gaze fixed upon it. And, that puzzled me. So I had started this quest to discover what the parapsychologists refer to as something called psychapa. And I believe that's taken from the Greek, meaning active mental abilities. So this would be different from things like clairvoyance, which is a more passive mental ability, or psychic ability as some people call it. It's really all one and the same thing. Yeah, mental ability, psychic ability. Because these are abilities that are interfacing from the mind to the brain, or from the will to the solar plexus, from the higher realms to the aura and so on, or from your will to your machines. So I began that quest looking for psychapa. What is it? How does it work? How do I get it? like a lot of my intermediate students have been asking, well, can I use this instrument because I don't have your wondrous wheel, Herr Doktor? So can I use like a prayer board or a wishing machine or something else to accomplish what's called psionic splicing? And that's where we're taking certain attributes from an entity or from a subject matter, a concept, a spirit, an ancient god form, or what have you, and we're extracting that, we're isolating it from all else. So, for example, you want the good part of the apple, but you don't want the bad stuff, so you perform the splicing methodology in my book, Psionic Splicing, which that is available on Amazon or Lulu. In any event, I should make it available on both and all platforms, including iBooks, and probably bring it back into my .com shop as well. In any event, so I developed this method of isolating the things that I want, like these attributes. And at first I did like most people. I tried to absorb all those abilities. But every talent that you try to absorb, you also need to work with. And when you have so many things you want to do, it's next to impossible to really exercise all those different abilities. Ergo, there is a way. So instead of practicing each and every single one of those talents, what I did is I created what was called psionic robots and servitors. I borrowed that concept and made tunable servitors. And there's a long story as to how that started with the Clytus. I tell that story in my book, the psionic robot. Subtitle is An Artificer's Guide to Anthropomorphic Constructs. I do hope you'll get that ebook. It is available as an ebook at Vrilock.com/shop. Now, whereas before it was only available as a 6x9 paperback, beautiful, beautiful artwork, wonderful book, wonderful cover, lots of illustrations throughout, and also diagrams and decal panels that you can print and then stick onto the surface of a box or plastic and punch some holes, drill some holes, and start your wiring and make your tunable servitor that can go out and do work for you, exercising these various talents without you having to actually possess any of these talents yourself. Now that is because all talents are universal. It's simply that when we are incarnate, we are not perceiving the I am. We're the true eternal self. We are perceiving the persona self, the person that we see in the mirror every day. And so we're divided by various, how we look, compositions, ethnicities, genders, age, nationality, and our talents can be vastly different. So one person may paint like Picasso or draw wonderful engineering diagrams like Davinci, while another person may have trouble even drawing a stick figure with chalk, or with crayons, I should say. And it's because our personality self, which is the persona self, what we call the me, myself, and then I. Right? The I am is in contact with and beyond all these talents that are out there. It's just that the talents that are universal are not evenly distributed within the space-time continuum, within the incarnate life, within this life. So are there ways around this little snag? Yes, there is. I think that every military organization on the planet has some department somewhere that's always looking into how to advance into the paranormal, or turn paranormal into engineering concepts, aka psionics, right? Or push forward to past the usual clairvoyant psychic experiences and discover the secret of psychoppa, which is actually causing change in conformity in your environment through these mental abilities. whether these are talents like psychokinesis, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis, kinesis, which it's a talent that I've had since I was young, is the kinesis part, the sensing movement from a distance and even influencing it, or reading thoughts that are just flying around in the ether, or knowing events, either at the time or before the time or past events. Time is perhaps not relevant to the realm of mind, I should say, really. I don't think it is, because I think mind exists outside of our space-time continuum. Or at least mental energy does. So there are all these various talents. Another one was called telemechanics, that I believe the term has been replaced with psychomechanics. And that is simply the ability to mentally read machines of any kind, whether it's purely mechanical, or if it's, it's a steam combustion engine, or if it's electronic, and or talents like mass influence. So, there's many organizations that would probably want to know the secrets to these things, and they don't, and they dress it up. There's various groups out there that claim they're searching for that answer, but the best they come out with is the usual rhetoric and a lot of nicely wrapped up nice seminars and webinars and things like that, and I'm sure they make a whole slew of money. I've actually checked the balance sheets. Some of these organizations, they make a little bit. A couple $1 million here every year. But they haven't really cracked the code. And so I'll tell you that you don't have to. I use my Sekai World Circuit. You can learn about that in my club, Vrilock.club, to perform works of mass influence or changes around the world, or bend events, so that these really terrible things don't happen, or whatnot. Another robot I designed for psychomechanics or telemechanics to help me read systems remotely. In a number of others, like some people have a talent for drawing money to themselves, so I'll work with a servitor or a tunable servitor or whatnot to possess that talent. Now, these talents being universal, they have to be channeled. Each person is different. We have different personalities, different, I'm not going to say abilities, because I'm already talking about that. I mean aptitude. We have different aptitude for things. And so one of the ways that we can get around not having the aptitude for, let's say, pushing influence or mass influence, or attracting money to ourselves, or getting romance, or stopping inclement weather, bending hurricanes. Maybe some of us can't reach out and do that and feel the kinetic force and bend it. Or maybe nature doesn't like us too much. Some people might be on that end of the spectrum. You get bit by every bee that you happen to pass by. Something like that, right? So the way around this would be to channel these attributes you're interested in, these talents that you're interested in, and these abilities you're interested in, into an object like a crystal, quartz crystal. Another very good one is volcanic glass, like obsidian. It's a very good material for not only absorbing things that you want, but also breaking down the negative stuff that you don't want. That's a very good material for doing exactly what I was talking about, which is splicing. So obsidian's a very good material for that. Now, the resources that you need to get all this done, of course, I have some books. I've named some of them: Sonic Robot, Sonic Splicing, Sonic Necromancer, and a number of other books, Vrilock Practical Guides, VPG 1, 2, and 3, audiobooks, Fantastic Facilitators, Magical Messengers, Dynamic Defenders, and Powerful Protectors, Romancing the Miraculous Prayer Board, and so on. The Elite Dowsing Kit, and then of course the new VMX Multimedia Experience Power Drive that has multiple video courses, 5 video courses, very good video courses, and 5 audiobooks, a couple complimentary documents, and 2 media players all within this drive that you can order and get to work and learn all you want about what I've taught students and this art form, and take your time at it. Plus, what you got on the drive is not going to disappear. If your computer crashes, you can just play this stuff right off your drive, and no worries. Another way of learning some of the secrets that I've uncovered in my 35 plus years of working at this stuff is to join the club. So I have a club. If you go to the .com website, you'll find a link to the club. Go join the club and enjoy content at no extra charge. 5 full years, right as of to date, 5 full years of extra content, audio logs, videos, and so on, plus an insider shop at no additional charge after your club dues. You can pay monthly, you can pay quarterly, you can pay every 6 months, or you can pay annual membership. And after that, you don't pay anything else to listen to audio lectures or watch videos. Now, there are some documents that you can buy in the club shop, and there are also discounted items, some of them up to 50% off. Not everything, but some things up to 50% off. And then there are membership discounts, whereas in the public website, we do try to discount some items, but usually you're paying the full cost of the production of the item and its value. As a club member with monthly or annual commitment, of course you're going to get those discounts. Plus there's a messaging system where you can ask me questions and I'll respond to you first because you're a club member, and help you understand the content in the club, or if you have suggestions about things you'd like to hear more about or change in the club, you can message me. And basically that's how we've also made the club better, is by a communication with club members. So we've made this club just beautiful. Like when you log into the club, it's nice and neat. It's right in front of you. Beautiful user interface. Wonderful user experience. Lightning fast on a computer or your smartphone or tablet. So, if you want to know how to take advantage of putting these cosmic and universal talents to work for you without having to actually possess these talents yourself, join the club or get that VMX drive and dig in to this material that I've worked on for 35 years. And with that, I leave you to this choice. And above all else, remember, keep the magic high. Herr Doktor commands.